Hi, this is 365801 and this is a January 2023 Book and Manga Haul video. So I don't plan on necessarily doing a haul video every month. Last year, 2022, I decided to do them quarterly, and unfortunately last year was also a year where I started buying books. Previously, I just bought manga, so it would have certainly made more sense to just do a quarterly haul if I was also trying to stick to my 7 maximum per month BL manga purchasing, and I did not. And so for some of the months I certainly did, and pat on the back to me, and then it would have made sense because I would have had a maximum of 21 volumes of BL manga to show as a quarterly haul, and that would have made sense. Except it didn't work out like that. Some months I did purchase under 7 volumes, and some months I purchased double 7. And also I purchased a lot of books, and so my videos were a lot longer and more taxing to create than I had planned. So I've decided to just do a little haul here, and it may be something I do every month and it may not be, but I'm just trying to keep up to date. That was the big thing. Doing it quarterly, I thought I would be more mindful about things, and I wasn't. So I'm trying to be more mindful this year, and we're going to start with a book and manga haul. These are all the things I got during the month of January 2023. So these are all of the books that I picked up, and they were all from charity shops. I didn't purchase anything new, and I'm pretty pleased with the little stack that I've got. The big and obvious thing is that there's 2 copies of the same book. One is a paperback version and one is the hardback version, and I purchased the paperback version for 50p in a charity shop or around New Year. So maybe it was January 1st, 2nd, 3rd, something like that. It was around beginning of the new year, and I knew that I had a hardback version of the first book in the series, and so I thought, well, it's only 50p, I'll pick it up. And I still haven't read the first book, so there's no point in investing in a fancy hardback or anything like that. But then I went to a different charity shop a few weeks later, and I found all of these titles. So the hardback version was purchased for £1. So I don't feel terribly out of pocket in terms of the cost. And now I have 2 hardbacks of the Richard Osman series. I'll look out to see if I can find the 3rd one whenever I can get one. So yeah, that's if I actually like it. I would like to actually read the first book in the series just to see if I do enjoy it. I know Meg with Books loves it, and I know Kayla from Books and Lala did not. So I don't know if it's a good series or not, we'll see. I also picked up a few other titles. Some of them have been talked about by other booktubers, and so I have got a bit of an interest. Beartown by Frederick Backman. I've never read any Frederick Backman, and I heard that Beartown was a good one to start with. Hopefully that's the case. I don't know. If you know, let me know. The Appeal by Janice Hallett, which is like a murder mystery with like multimedia, so I'm kind of looking forward to that one. How to Kill Your Family by Bella Mackie. This has been quite popular with the release of Prince Harry's book Spare. This kind of had a wee resurgence. Everyone wanted to read that as well. And then the one at the top there, Jade City by Fonda Lee. This is the first in the Greenbone saga. And I know that Meg from Meg with Books really enjoyed this last year. She read the whole series, or completed it anyway, and enjoyed it. So yeah, all of these books were £1 except for the one at the top, which was 50p, and I have not read a single one of them. But that's just how it goes when it comes to my book buying. I do hope to read more of the books that I purchased, and if I don't enjoy them, just take them back to the charity shop. It's not very expensive. I could get these from the library, but I just have to wait for certain titles, like the Richard Osman one. I can see if I can get the Audible books, or at least the an audiobook version of it so that I can read and listen at the same time, which would be really good. I think for a lot of these, if I could get the Audible title as well, that would help. But yeah, I'm happy with this little stack. Not very expensive. Let's go on to the manga. Here I have 3 volumes of the Infernal Devices Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, and Clockwork Princess. This is by Cassandra Clare and art by Hyo Kyung Baek. This is, I think, a Yen Press title, and I was really surprised to find it in a charity shop for 40p each. So in total, £1.20. Bargain! 40p for one volume of manga is pretty good. I cannot believe I was able to find them. And I couldn't believe they were 40p. So when I went up to the till to pay, she was like, yeah, that's £1.20 for them. And I was like, what? Like £1.20 each? Yes, maybe, but no, a £1.20 complete for all 3. I have since checked online and I don't think there's any more. I know that there was like a big hardback bind up, which I think took all 3 of these and put them into one big fancy hardback version, which is more difficult to get hold of now. Certain Yen Press titles sometimes are. These are quite chunky, they're quite thick. And I've never read any Cassandra Clare, so I have no idea what this is about. As usual, I just buy things and I don't know. I don't check either. But I was just so surprised to find, I think it was volume 3, and then on the next shelf down, volume 1, and then the next shelf down, volume 2. And I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm getting volumes 1, 2, and 3. I wonder if there's any more. But I don't think there is. If you have read these, I would love to know. So yeah, I picked them up, and I have this in a vlog, but I don't think my vlogs are up. But yeah, very happy about this purchase. It's not BL as far as I know. There might be, I don't know, let me know. I'm going to read it at some point, but yeah, I'll have to add this to my list of books that I need to read this year. And they're all purchased through, is it Wordery? Because they've all got a bookmark inside them. they've all got individual bookmarks, which I think is great. So someone's obviously taken the time to buy them all individually and then has decided to donate them to the charity shop. Well, I am very grateful. Thank you very much. 40p! What a bargain! On to the first BL title I'm going to talk about. This is a June manga title, Twittering Birds Never Fly, Volume 7 by Yoneda Ko. I picked this up, I think, for £10.99 through Blackwell. And I'm pretty sure that's an okay price to pay at the moment. It's not the £7 a volume I want to try and get, but it is a brand new title, and it is a very special volume because it's the start of the next part of this story. It's very difficult to talk about Twittering Birds at this stage in the series because there's so much in volumes 1 through 6 that you know you need to know before you can start talking about anything to do with volume 7, and I don't want to spoil this for anyone, but let's just say volumes 1 through 6 is like part 1 of the story, and volume 7 is the start of part 2 of the story. There's been a time skip, and we've ended up at this stage with the characters being a little bit estranged from each other and being reacquainted, which is always nice because the tension, oh, the sexual tension, it's so good, so good. And we've got another mystery sort of have it is kind of like we need to find out, you know, there's more shenanigans with the Yakuza, people doing things, and who's the one behind it all. And they kind of have to, it's kind of interesting, they have to work as like detectives to find out who is the bad guy in their bad guy ranks. And of course they've got their code of honor and their code of conduct, and then you've got the other guys who aren't part of the Yakuza but are just like mobster guys who just kind of work for or maybe are employed by, you know, all that kind of stuff. It's all very much shenanigans, and then in the middle we've got, you know, our two main characters skirting around each other, like dancing can we have some sort of interaction? What's allowed, what's not, and finding out what they've been up to in that past, and them being surprised. Oh, is that what you've been doing? Oh, and how they look and everything. And you can see the scar on Domeki's face there. So yeah. Maybe I can't talk about it, but I really want to say something like, no, I can't talk about it. So if you have not read up to this volume, I cannot spoil this for you, but this is the stage where it's like part 2, season 2 of this drama, and it's the reacquainting of these two characters. Oh my god, it's so good, guys. It's so good. I love this with a passion. Yona Deco can do no wrong. She's just a beautiful storyteller, and if it takes her the rest of my lifetime to finish the story, that's fine. I could read about these guys every couple of years. It's okay. I am glad that Juni Manga have been publishing it a little bit more quickly or consistently. They still said, oh, it'll be out in November, and then this wasn't actually available in the UK until January. So happy to have this, and happy to have read it, and happy to be back into the Twittering Birds universe. Very nice. I do recommend it for people who, I mean, considering I hate Yakuza, prison, trauma-filled stories, and there is a lot of trauma in this story, I absolutely love it. And I think it's probably because of the way that Yona Deco tells stories, the way she's respectful of her characters in a way that that just makes it more palatable to me. I feel like she loves these characters more than anyone else does, and so yeah, it's a respectful trauma. I don't know how else to say it, because this you know did break me a few times reading it, this series, but not enough to put me off continuing to read it. So yeah, I love this so much. It's so good. From the sublime to the ridiculous is the other junior manga title I picked up. This is Deadlock Volume 4 by Saki Aida, who wrote the novel, and Yu Takashina, who did the manga adaptation. This is the 4th and final volume in the Deadlock series, which seems like it's been publishing for ages. I think people had kind of forgotten about it after Volume 1, and then Volume 2 did eventually come out, and then there was a huge gap again between Volume 2 and Volume 3 and 4. So 3 came out around August last year, 2022, and then this one came out at the end of the year, but of course I didn't pick up until January. So I have since read this one too, so that's 2 for 2 on the BL manga reading front. I'm doing really well. This one I picked up also from Blackwell's for £12.54. Once again, this is not a £7 title, which is disappointing, but it's inevitable. And when it comes to the June manga titles, I kind of feel like I need to pick them up as and when they're a little bit reduced, or even slightly reduced, or at least the cheapest place I can get it when it comes out, because there's always the possibility that it's going to be out of print and you're not going to get a copy, especially with series. More so with series than with a one-shot. A one-shot's just one and done. But a series, if you miss one if you miss one volume, you are scuppered. It's tough out there. So yeah, so I'm glad I got it. I'm glad I finally got round to reading my other volumes of Deadlock. This was a buddy read with Katie. Did either of us enjoy it? In the end, I'd have to say we both did not. Am I happy that I read it? Yes. Did I enjoy the reading experience? No. I wanted to throw this across the room. I especially wanted to throw this volume across the room. Oh boy, how it ended, or how it didn't end, is the case may be. I did not like this. So this is the kind of title that I'm talking about when it comes to trauma-filled and the author not necessarily respecting their characters. This was trauma porn, and I am not someone who enjoys trauma porn. Jealousy is something I'm not going to enjoy reading, I'm assuming, because I already read Yondaime, 4th Generation Head, and I did not enjoy that. It made me feel very uncomfortable. And for some people, the uncomfortable feeling is fine. They're okay with characters who are you know, pushed around and beat around and sexually assaulted and all that kind of stuff. I'm not happy about it, but this is a prison story, and so you kind of expect it. But at the same time, you hope for the best. You want your characters to be protected at all costs, and they are not. So yeah, this was not the kind of story that I want to read. I know a lot of people like Banana Fish. I have never watched more than like the first episode. And I was like, okay, nope, this is not for me. This is not for me. I've not collected the manga. I probably should. I know one day I'm going to have to. But there are certain traumatic things that happen, and I don't particularly enjoy that. So yeah, anyway, Deadlock Volume 4. Is it the worst volume of the series? Yeah, I would say so. I would say this is the worst volume. Because at least Volume 1 and 2, you had a building sense of tension. By Volume 3 and 4, I did not give a shit about this anymore. So yeah, I don't like this, other than the fact that it is fucking beautiful. And Yu Takashina has amazing artwork, especially in Volumes 1 and 2. Yeah, Volumes 1 and 2, she really packed in a lot of story. Volumes 3 and 4 is a pile of steaming shit. If you enjoy Deadlock, the novel, then I feel sorry for you, because this is not it. And I feel sorry for me because I cannot read the novel because it's not in chuffing English. Okay, so I'm never gonna know what happens in this huge big story. So all the people who love Deadlock, I'm like, where did you read it? No, seriously, where did you read it? like I wanna know, because I hate that. I hate not knowing. And this is like a 9-volume series, in print, in prose, whereas we're only getting 4 volumes in manga. So you make of that what you will. Yeah, read it, 2 for 2, spent more than I wanted to on it. Never mind. Okay, so this is the final volume to talk about today, and that is Ten Dance Volume 2 by Inoue Sato. I picked this up from Amazon for £8.14, and I am so happy about that, because I have been on the lookout for a good priced volume 2 of Ten Dance for such a long time. I have volume 1, I have volume 3, 4 and 5. I do not have volume 6 yet. And I just needed volume 2 so I could sit down and read more of it. And I finally have it. It's more than I would have liked to pay, obviously. The cheaper the better. But the fact that this is £8.14 is the lowest I have seen it personally. I have been looking. So I'm very happy that I was able to get this. This one I have not read yet. I could read it in February because it is I could read it anytime, but it's also a buzzword, verbs in February, and dance is a verb. So I could read volumes 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, but then I'll be like, oh, but there's a 6 out somewhere and I don't have it. I hate not having all of the volumes, but then at the same time, if you don't read what you've got, and now I can, and so a reread of volume 1 and then going into volume 2, 3, 4 and 5 would be really fantastic. I would probably enjoy that. But it doesn't have to happen this month. I could definitely do it at some point. But yeah, so an unread one. So out of my BL, as I said, this is the final volume. I only have 2 read and 1 unread. And this one is the cheapest one. I haven't read it. But it is still a very good price. Inoue Sato has an amazing art style, and this first volume, the first volume of this series anyway, was so full of simmering sexual tension between these two characters. It was just so fucking hot. These two men with very similar names are ballroom dancers. One is very much a classic ballroom dance champion. The other one is a Latin champion. But to be able to compete at the 10 dance competition, they must master both classical ballroom as well as the Latin ballroom. And so they work together to train each other so that they can compete at the highest level in the 10 dance competition. And so yeah, it's just these two guys helping each other dance, and oh my god. So yeah, the whole thing about this is it was originally published, I think, in a kind of BL, more like BL for ladies, older ladies, you know, more involved stories. And then that publication went out of print and it got moved to a seinen publication, so for men. And that's great, because you know what, men need these stories too. So that does mean I'm not entirely sure how much BL there is in this title, and how BL-ish it gets in the later volumes. So I'm very intrigued. If it's just a slashable type thing and there's just the simmering tension, that's fine. If there's anything else, then that's fine too. But I am intrigued and I do want to read it. So yeah, I'd like to read this as soon as possible, but I'm not entirely sure if I want to wait until I got volume 6. I probably should just read it, shouldn't I? I should just read it. But yeah, I'm happy with this one. So I thought I should just show you for this haul, because every month I've been doing manga hauls, and it'd be mostly BL manga hauls. These are the 3 BL titles that I picked up in the month of January. So in terms of my BL manga collection, I have only picked up 3 volumes this month. In terms of my manga collection, I picked up 6 volumes this month. And also my books. But we're not going to talk about them right now. So yeah, in terms of my BL, my goals for the year is to pick up a maximum of 7 volumes a month. Try and aim for less. So this month in January I have less, which is great. 3 titles. My goal is to get them, to see if I can get them for £7 or less. Unfortunately, fell down on all 3 of those. The total was £31.67 for these 3 volumes, and the average cost of 1 volume is £10.56. So yeah, not doing great in the cost wise, but my other goal is to spend less than £50 a month on BL manga, and I have managed to do that. So some positives and one negative, just that they're overly pricey. But looking at these particular volumes, they're going to be. I'm not going to manage to get them for cheaper until, you know, like 2 or 3 years down the line. And even then, would they even be available? I mean, Ten Dance maybe, but Twittering Birds, maybe. Like at the moment, you can get volume 4 for about £8 on Amazon. But Deadlock? Man, if I don't pick up Deadlock now, especially volume 4, am I ever going to? You really do need to pick up the volumes that are in series as soon as you possibly can. Really. And maybe in some terms, a pre-order is a good way, because you know you're going to get like 10% discount, whereas in other cases you're not going to. But I at least searched around for the best prices I could get. So yeah, this is my BL purchases for the month of January. So this is everything I got. A few books and a few manga. I think the most surprising thing is 40p a volume for the Infernal Devices, and I have no idea if I'm going to enjoy them or not. But yeah, happy days with a few. I mean, I'm really happy to get a hardback version of The Man Who Died Twice, and happy to get some 40p manga. Happy to get Ten Dance at a reasonable price, and happy to read Twittering Birds. So all in all, it's been quite a good month for January. Like I said at the beginning, I'm not sure if I'm going to continue doing hauls every month. It was just that I felt like I had enough to put in a book and manga haul video, and that's plenty. Whereas if I was just doing the BL manga, it would just be 3 volumes, and that's not really a haul, is it? That's just this is all I've got. So if it was just the BL, I would wait until the end of March, beginning of April, and do a haul. So I think I might do that, because it might make me more mindful. So my plan is, if I have enough at the end of a month to do a haul with books and manga, then I will do a haul video. If I don't, then there will be no haul video. And every quarter, I will do a review of my purchases and my spending, so that by the end of the year, I'm more up to date, and I don't need to scramble around trying to find, how much did I buy for this? How much did I pay? Where did I get this? Like I usually do. So I'd like to be up to date. So I already have it written down, what I bought, where I bought it, how much it cost, that kind of thing. I would like to keep up to date with that. So if at the end of the 3 months I put all my manga in a haul, I can then review it and see if I've actually been reading it as well, because that's something that I made a big effort with last year, and I have more positive data than any other year previously. So I would like to read 10 Dance Volume 2, because then I know I'm reading what I'm buying when it comes to the manga. The Infernal Devices, I've got all 3 volumes there. There's nothing stopping me from reading that. So that's something I would like to read. I would very much like to make more of an effort with that. The other thing is I want to buy Lesson 7 and make sure I'm reading them. But I can tell you right now, I have already purchased some things. Oh no, I know. I know. Will I have more than 7 by the end of February? Well, it depends on the postage. And part of me is like, the postmen are having strike days. That's fine with me. If it doesn't arrive by the end of February, then it just goes into a March haul. That's okay. So yeah, I don't know if I'll have 7 by the end of February. And also I'm going to have to reduce the time I go into charity shops and buy books. I don't need these books if I'm not reading them. So I need to read my books. So yeah, oh dear. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this. This is probably longer than I expected it to be, because I do talk quite a bit, which is another reason why my quarterly hauls were so long. And no one told me how long it was going to take to edit, export and upload a haul video that was, almost 2 hours long. Like, my computer is old, it can't do that. So yeah, shorter videos are better. So I'm going to shut up now and say I hope you enjoyed this video. Yeah, let me know if you enjoy the haul videos quarterly, or if you think monthly is better, down in the comments below. Subscribe if you enjoyed this, and you can get notified when the next videos are up. Like, share, all that good stuff helps out the channel, I suppose. I also have a Patreon, and there's loads of videos over on Patreon. I have loads of videos on Patreon, and I only have a $1 tier, so it's $1 a month, and you get access to all the videos that I upload. And there's loads over there just now. I'm really proud of myself, pat on the back. And I always make sure there's early access, so everyone on Patreon gets this before the channel does. So yeah, if you're interested, go and check that. There's a link in the description as well. I'm 365801, and I make videos about BL manga, yaoi, minimal romance, and all that good stuff. Take care, everyone. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!